Hello.
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 All right.
Sorry, I think I would be better at these Zoom meetings, but I'm still don't have a clue how to do it properly.
No, this is our second attempt at one, Jen. Don't worry. And the first one didn't go well, so.
We were just talking about how badly it went.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why?
nothing.
Nothing. we're trying to record these podcasts in isolation, and let's see the first couple. They were all right because they were just all right. We had stuff to talk about, but now nothing's happening anymore. So we're kind of like,
I was like, I have no chat. I'm like, so thankful that you've given me an excuse to put makeup on, but I'm like, fuck all chat, lads.
I got to wear jeans for the first time in 3 weeks today, and I enjoyed wearing jeans again. And I was like, I just kept them on for a few hours just because I was like, mind these things, these jean things.
Story, like my pal, she posted something the other day, and she was saying that she knows a guy who literally doesn't have any loungewear whatsoever, and he actually has house jeans. And I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with this guy? House jeans.
Sounds like a guy that doesn't like relaxing, like really uptight.
How awful is that? I was like, my God, this poor guy was obviously never hugged as a child.
And he'll never be hugged again because we're not allowed out the house anymore.
Ever. I would think that people are going to get into like some weird, like bored, sexual-related things during isolation, but that still sounds like the most perverted thing I've ever heard. As a guy wearing fucking house jeans.
Maybe they're like jeggings, though. You know how like jeggings are quite delightful. Like I've never had a pair of jeggings, but I see sometimes Marla wears them, and I go, they look fucking cool. They look lovely. They're like the convenience, the coolness of jeans, but the convenience of like tights.
Well, you know, we think of everything these days.
Yeah, you would probably go for some flares, wouldn't you? You would want a bit of room in there.
So, and also, just in case you wanted to dance to disco music, like it's all you don't know when the mood will fucking just strike.
I'm ready.
Is that not like
Night Fever comes on and you're like Saturday Night Fever?
A house like joggie's not 2 sizes too big for you anyway. Is that not supposed to be the rule? So they're kind of like flares anyway, or parachute pants if you want to go MC Hammer.
Well, I'll put the light on. I've got my pajama bottoms on, and look how baggy they are. Can you see them?
Yeah, they need to be baggy. That's the rule.
Yeah, a lot
Can you do a high kick? Show us how high
no.
you can lift your legs.
No, this isn't fucking like OnlyFans, mate. You have to donate for that shit.
I like that you've thought about that though. You're like, okay, what can I do for OnlyFans? Well, I'll do the leg thing where I lift them really high. They'll love that shit.
That's what house jeans were made for. OnlyFans. That's house jeans territory.
And a high leg, because the high leg in jeans is very impressive.
Yeah.
So
it's determination more than skill, because it's like the jeans are only there to stop you, but you're like, you know what, jeans? I'm a human, and I've spent I forgot how old I am. I've spent like 30 odd years on this world just kicking high, and you will not stop me, and I will not be stopped today.
Oh, bless. I love that you think that jeans have gone into that much, like, I'm going to stop this shenanigans, this high leg shenanigans.
It's kind of like have fun, have a party, but don't be too dynamic. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I went through a phase where I used to kick door frames when I was drunk, which like it sounds a little bit shit, but
are you Goldberg? What the hell?
So what I'd do is I'd be drinking, right, and I'd just take my jeans off midway through, and the whole room would look at me like, are you going to kick a door frame? And I was like, I'm getting ready, I'm warming up. And then like it either went one of two ways. Sometimes I kicked the door frame and miraculously survived and landed on my feet, and everyone kind of went, oh, good job, but they were a little bit disappointed because the rest of the time I'd go to kick a door frame, I'd nail it, and I'd land straight on my back, like with one of those like those winding you kind of thuds, like a proper boom, and you can't breathe, but you've got to stand up and be like, oh yeah, you do it like that. Yeah, that's cool.
Danny, what's he talking about?
I don't know, but I think he still sounds like Goldberg. Jen made the comparison to Goldberg, and that's what he's like at the end of like every 30-second match that he does now.
Exactly. I love it.
I feel like we've already started this podcast without intros. It was just like a natural in. So thank you for coming and joining us, Jen. we needed like an air of positivity because our last 2 recordings have been fucking miserable. So
have you had other people on, or have you just like been doing it yourselves?
Just ourselves. You're our first guest. You're the first. We needed like a positive, happy face. So the pressure is all on you to.
I was like, cheers.
And
So-
before you came on, we were sitting there getting really thirsty onto James. We're like, we like your new facial here, mate. Oh yes, like it was just. We've gone
Yeah.
weird. Like we now think that James is the epitome of a sex symbol, and every time we see him, we're like, yes.
Nah.
What
Yeah.
isolation's done to us, eh?
I was going to say,
Me-
that OnlyFans is getting closer by the day.
It's just gonna be me only fansing for like James will be doing high kicks in jeans or something, and I'll be paying to watch him, and then he'll be just rubbing lotion into his beard, and I'll be paying to watch that. It's just gonna be me watching James do weird shit.
Mate,
You're
honestly,
keeping-
man, my OnlyFans page would be the saddest thing in the world. Me just reading like really boring, awful passages from shit books just to try and bring people down to my sad, lonely level.
And
Oh,
then getting attacked by cats just periodically. Like a cat will come and claw your face, and you'll be like, I deserved that. It really loves me, it does. And then you just go reading some fucking sad poetry again.
You've both just described like half the OnlyFans accounts that I subscribe to already. So there's nothing original in here.
you get a friends and family discount for James's, so that's good.
Exactly, 20% off.
It's free, like, is OnlyFans not just for like ladies that want to show parts of their vaginas for money? Like, imagine giving a friends and family discount for that. I don't know what OnlyFans is. I just thought it was like, if you're good on Instagram, you have an OnlyFans, and that's where it's like, that's where the saucy pictures are.
Well,
I don't know why you'd want your friends and family having them.
There's not all. I don't think it's all. Like, I've got some pals that are on it, and I'm pretty sure they don't post. I mean, I don't subscribe to them, but like trying to watch the pennies, in this. Well, I was going to say recession, but I don't know what the hell it is now. Like, yeah, no, I don't think it's all like nudity. I think there's some like just more content for fans, general fans. I think.
Yeah, like,
You know way more
like a
interesting
Patreon.
people than I know. I think I just know people that are like, I could show you my bum for £1, and you're like, no.
That incidentally
Pay
is your friends and family, isn't it, Shane?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's only £1. I get the discount.
How are you? How are you coping with this, Jen? Since I've already relayed how I'm feeling like the grimmest cunt in the world. How are you dealing with it all?
I'm okay. Like, I won't lie, I really didn't. I had like a proper bit of a meltdown a couple of weeks ago when it first kind of all kicked off. I think it all just sunk in, and plus as well, that was like just before I was supposed to be going to Florida, so like that whole thing that I'd been like hyping for a year, like it just really got to me. So I was in a really bad place like a couple of weeks ago, but I've come through like the other side now, and I think it's been really cool seeing how like you yourselves are doing like this content, and so many people are trying to be really creative in ways to like entertain us, and it made me really appreciative. Plus like all the people still, like the key workers still working, like it just kind of took a step back and just was like, do you know what, I'm in a really grateful place. Like, it's not all, it could be a lot worse. I think there's a lot of people out there who are really experienced this like way harder than I am, so I think like I took that back, and now it's just kind of, I don't know, I've kind of like settled into, like I've got jigsaws are my new thing, so I'm loving it. But no, it's good. Like it was hard as well, like 'cause I'm on my own. I don't know if any of you guys like are.
Yeah. Danny, your thumbs up there is amazing. Nah, I'm lucky to have, sometimes lucky to have my girlfriend and 2 cats here, so which is a completely different thing as well, because having been in someone's space that much, the littlest thing will annoy you, and you realise how short your fuse is, even though, but you're like, I'm aware enough to not blow my fuse, because I'm like, that's a really stupid thing to fucking get upset about, so like just calm yourself down. But it kind of, it shows you your mind too much, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, like now, like, friends of mine that are, like, with either flatmates or boyfriends, girlfriends, you know, whatever, whoever family, I think they're all kind of at the point now where it's like the cracks are beginning to show. Like, the first week, maybe everybody was like, let's just get pissed every day. Which, to be fair, I'm still riding that train, so... But I think, like, yeah, the cracks are, now everyone's beginning to be like, right, I just want to get out and, like, not see this person for a while. So I don't know.
Well, my girlfriend said to me, and I'm saying this quietly because she's downstairs, I hope the TV's on. She said to me, she went, why are you not talking? I went, I've literally nothing to say. I don't have any currency of conversation right now. I'm like, nothing's happened to me in a long time. You know, like, what am I meant to say? Oh, did you enjoy watching that TV programme that we've just zombified ourselves for the past 10 hours watching? There's nothing there.
I quite enjoyed the fact that, so this morning, so it's been, I don't know, it's like 3 weeks since I was, like, close to someone, but I'm all right. I'm on, like, I generally fucking quite enjoy my own company, so I'm all right. And but this morning I had to go over to my mum's to pick up a table so that I can, like, have a little workstation. I didn't go into her house or anything. Like, my stepdad brought the table outside, and now you've got, like, all these really cute videos just now, and it's families, and it's like grandparents are going to windows and talking to their kids and all that. My mum didn't even get off the couch, so I never even seen her. I just got the table and I was like, right, see you later on. And I was like, oh, this is like what my whole family's been building for. Like 30 years of like minimal contact and no love. This is just like, nothing's changed for us. So about an hour after that, my sister we don't really do video calls. We don't really message each other that much. So my sister started like a family video chat to show off like my niece to everyone. And after like 2 minutes, we were all just like, this is boring, isn't it? so I'm seeing all these like and it'll be like screenshots and Instagram stories and people like, oh, I just done like a quiz with my family and I missed them so much. And we tried that today and it was just like, nah, it's fuck it, it's cool. Let's not pretend that we are this. So solo company, I'm quite enjoying it, I must admit.
I got a call at 7 a.m, right, from someone I haven't talked to. I probably talk to them like on Facebook now and then. They'll go, hey, how you going? And I'll send like a polite message back. But I haven't seen them in about, honestly, it would be 15 years. Like this is a lady, I was telling my girlfriend and I forgot that I'd already told her another story, which is quite a bad story to tell your girlfriend. And then this person rang me up at 7 a.m. And yeah, so basically this person hasn't talked to me for like 15 years. And they were like, hey, just a quick one. Do you remember those shoes I used to have? And I'm like, what? Like, because I've been up till 2 a.m. like every other cunt, because I'm fucking, why not? Like, time doesn't really matter. It's just it's a series of Netflix shows now. And like, so I'm getting this call, waking me up, and someone's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, fucking Annabelle. And she's like, you know those shoes I used to have? And I was like, I have not a Scooby, what the fuck you're talking about? And she's like, those green shoes. And I was like, what? And she's like, I gotta go. And then hung up, and I was like, and then she kept sending me messages like all these memories about the green shoes and stuff. And I was like, I honestly don't know if you know who you've talked to. I think what's happening, because she lives in New Zealand, so I reckon she's steaming, and she's gone, she's in a conversation or an argument with someone about these green shoes, and she's gone, Cheyne was there, I'll ring him and he'll make me right, you'll see. And then I just get woken up with, remember those green shoes? Marla's going, who's that? And I'm like, it's that girl I told you gave me my first hand job. And she's like, why is she ringing you? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. And then it's just like a weird, it ended, and I was like, okay, it's a weird thing. I think people are like, I've had so many people that I haven't talked to in ages go, should we catch up for a group chat? And I'm like, why? Like, I mean, I like you as a human, but like, fuck, we haven't talked for 20 years. Like, primary school people are like, hey, should we catch up on house party? I'm like, no, why the fuck do we do that? Like, I know your mum better than I know you, and only through Facebook. So let's not. And you always have to make up that awkward, like, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow, hard out. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do it with you tomorrow.
That's it. You can't deny and say like, oh, I've got something on, because no one does. So it's like that. Oh my god. It was like that house party atmosphere, baby. That's a dangerous wee thing. Like, not because of all the hacking and stuff, but I didn't realise when you're on it, it shows, like, it comes in like, oh, so and so is like in the house or something. It says, and then people can automatically click on you, and it takes you up like video. Like, you don't accept it. It just happens. So there was one night I was on it, pissed as a fart, because I'd been on like another group chat with like pals, and I'd just gone on it, and I was like, what is this? So I'm like obviously like lying on the sofa, like, you know what, like the phone is like that, like looking at it. And then my pal just popped up and he's like, hang on! I was like, oh my god, what's going on? Totally, it was just like, it's like he just walked in your door. I was like, oh my god. It's like, so house party is a dangerous thing. Like,
so if you're naked, right, like, do you have to have the app open, I'm guessing? So if you're like, got
if
that
you've got
app
it open, I think it shows everybody that's on your like friends list, like, oh, so and so's in the app, and then they can just click your name and it just automatically shows you, like, so if you were sitting, like, I don't know, on the toilet just checking it, like, somebody can just jump in, and it's like, oh my god. So I ended up like just muting it, or ghosting, I think is what you put on it, and I was like, ghost, like, no thanks.
That's like the Snapchat map thing. I've probably discussed this before in this podcast, but it's like the freakiest fucking thing that you're totally unaware of. It's how your location, like, there was a girl in my club, in fact, Carla, who worked the door at the live show for anyone that was there, told me a story about how someone knew that someone was with their ex because on Snapchat maps they were together. And that was like one of those conversations where you're like, oh, I'm old and I don't understand technology anymore. Like, how do I switch this off immediately? Not that I'm anywhere interesting, but it's fucked up.
It's madness. It's just like, it's proper weird. Like, cause I mean, they might not like weird people on Snapchat anyway, so I'm always just like, no thanks. I'm barely on it now.
Yeah, people still use Snapchat.
Yeah, like, I know a lot of people who are like Snapchat daft, like, still to this day, and I'm like, oh, I can't go it. I get too many like strange people on it, like people. Like, I think there's one person that keeps creating fake profiles, like, and I keep blocking them because they keep.
Oh, sorry.
Like,
yeah, sorry about that.
I'm like, Cheyne! But it's like they keep kidding on that they are like asking me these big moral questions, and I don't like speak to anybody on Snapchat. Like, I'll look when people send me stuff, but I rarely like, you know, converse with anybody over it. And especially people I don't know, I just kind of just skip past it all. But
always struck me as this sort of platform that if you were on another platform, someone said you got your Snapchat code, it just meant that they wanted to see you naked.
Yeah,
that was it.
Pretty much. That's what I always think, like, when you see on Tinder and it's like, Snapchat is, and I'm like, dirty, you know that? Might as well just say OnlyFans.
Yeah, friends and family discount time for those people.
A wee Tinder special, quote this code.
Have you succumbed to TikTok yet, Jen? Has TikTok entered your world?
Not yet. I've like put it off because I have no rhythm, and I feel like you need like rhythm and youth to be on it, and I have neither of those things now. So I'm like, no chance. Oh, the cat!
Oh, don't react like that. Now he's just gonna be. Now it's just gonna be a cat fest every time he's like.
Pander to him. This is just bear in mind, this is an audio thing, James.
So there's video, isn't there? And sorry, I disappeared. It's when I seen you guys on cans. I was like, I have to go and get something.
Good man.
The can?
Do you top up
No,
your tea?
I got a rum and a cup. It made me feel quite like 1960s office worker, where they used to just tap in the drink in their teacup.
Did you put
loses it in all the movies, right? When like every cunt like just gets pissed on like whiskey all day. Like, I'd love to be a fucking high class lawyer and just sit down and get shit faced with people. Because granted, I'm taking this off like Suits and Mad Men. All they do is like, look at my high powered job I have. Let's get pissed. And someone else is like, I agree. Let's get pissed.
But
I
it's
feel
true.
like that's what you're doing.
Like a designated drawer when it was like, this calls for a drink, and I'm like, I want a drawer. Like,
Yeah. Who doesn't want to pull a bottle out their drawer and pour it in a cup? I'm watching Mad Men just now because it's going off on Netflix at the end of the month, and all I want to do is go back to the 70s and create the best ad campaign in the world, but also like mercilessly fucking get steaming to the point where I wreck my whole career, because that's all that happens. They create a great campaign and then they wreck their career.
Just go down the soap opera route, because the soap operas, what they do is they drink straight vodka. So you're not successful right now, so you can do what like a soap character does. And
just get
they get it, and they can drink it with a straight face as well. They never like grimace and go, "Oh fuck, that's howling." They all just go, "Oh, straight vodka, tough day at work," and then they just knock it back and be like, "I'm going to have spaghetti bolognese now, I suppose." I
did straight vodka once over maybe 4-hour period in a night out, and I swear to God, I genuinely, I didn't think this at the time, but I had the worst hangover in history, and I was getting like proper back spasms, like down below in my kidneys. Excuse me. And I genuinely think, looking back, that I could have possibly died from alcohol poisoning because of the amount of straight vodka I drank, so I'm not going to do it.
That's madness. What vodka was it as well? Because I bet you it was a wee Glens, which wouldn't have helped any matter.
Fuck knows. I genuinely don't even know. Sorry, you need to see this. This is quite cute.
Is it a cat thing? It's a fucking cat thing.
Look at them. Oh,
Thanks.
it's people class for the NHS.
Oh, shit. They're clapping. That's why they're at the window. They're looking at people.
I was actually about to pull you all up for being heartless bastards and not doing it. So well done, Jen, for noticing it.
I literally could hear, and I
can still hear people. Yeah, it's 2 minutes past 8. Like, that's too much clapping. Save your energy for next week. Yeah. No way. I don't mean it in a horrible sense. Like, you've earned it. Well, everyone, but 2 minutes. Yeah. Come on.
It's weird that they keep doing it, but no one's talking about it most of the time. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, we're clapping again. And everyone's like, oh, we're still doing that. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like we're doing this every week while we're on lockdown. We just did it once, and everyone's like, we're doing that again, and it's like, fuck it, why not? Like, I don't know, like it doesn't. The first one was kick ass, and now it's like our whole like I can see like 4 streets from where I'm sitting right now, and everyone was clapping, and there was hooting and shit. Hooting and hollering, and I'm like, but like, I'm looking out my window now, and there's fucking nothing happening. No cunts even looking out their window.
Shane, it's a strategy though, because if they say, oh, it's happening again next week, then they can't shut down lockdown. They can't go, oh, we're going to open things back up again. We would, but we've got that clap thing on the Thursday, and we're committed to it now, you know, the whole PR strategy's there. So we'll do it. So if they get it in early enough each week, then that's how they justify keeping us indoors.
I was just doing it as like a kind of like way of controlling time, like because now I know it's Thursday. I was like, oh, only way I know. So I was like, oh, thanks NHS. Like,
we need to
like
get
in that Christmas break when it's actually Christmas though, like that's the one day you definitely know, and then you give up. Like we know that every week we know it's Christmas on Thursday because we clap for the nurses. Like. Time check.
That's it.
What if you're a nurse that's just come off a shift at 7 o'clock and you're just getting to bed and you just really need a sleep, and then it hits 8 and it hits 8 and then all you hear is some bastard next to you rattling a pot with a wooden spoon.
Playing bagpipes or something.
Stop fucking clapping. I'm trying to sleep. You can't. Fuck off.
Just walking into your room with about 20 people just clapping as you fall asleep.
It's easy. Like if someone's in your house, like actually literally going into that room and clapping for them.
A guy's performing open heart surgery, and he's just as he's about to make that crucial incision, somebody just walks up and like pats him in the back, like, good on you, mate, like, well done. Oh shit, fuck.
NHS people rip it to bits as well. Like Marla's works in healthcare and all their friends are in the NHS and stuff, and her group chats are just like, oh cool, don't give us more money, but clap once a fucking week, have fun with that. Like it's just like NHS people are going, cool, we're over it, like, and we're sitting there going, no, you accept our love and we'll be so happy and appreciative of you.
I know, it's so funny. Like, it is a shame, like when it was last week and it was like clap for Boris, and it was like
yeah.
I was like, guys, can we maybe just like up the pay rise, maybe something like that? Then I'll clap for Boris if he does that. But yeah.
I think, Danny, you got the brunt of my feelings towards Clap for the NHS the first week it happened, and I won't go into it because it's very contentious, but it's highlighted today when you see that the MP's got £10,000 allocated to them, and there's been no whisper of a pay rise or extra money for the people that are in the front line doing the actual work just now. But it's all right because they've got a 2-minute applause, you know.
Yeah, I saw some of the supermarkets were actually being really good cunts about it. Like, I can't remember which ones, but they were saying, like, when we get out of this, you know, the bonus that we give to all the workers is going to be, you know, 10 times as much or something like that. Because hey, they're the only ones still making money. But I think, those are the ones that you kind of go, NHS workers, of course, but they should be fucking heroes all year round. Whereas, like, bin men aren't heroes all year round, and they're not necessarily getting the love now as much either. You know, bus drivers are fucking right now are legends. Like, people working at supermarkets, they're keeping the country fucking. I sound fucking mad political, but I think those are the cunts that we need to go. Okay, first one was for NHS. Yep, fair play. This one's for the bus drivers. This one's for the bin men. But I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, that's too much clapping. I can't be arse clapping.
You would need to evolve it really, then, wouldn't you? Like, if you're doing it for the bus drivers, you'd need to go that song. Hail to the bus driver, bus driver, bus driver.
I'd join in with that.
That's going to be the new national
your whole fucking street singing that, though, eh? Fucking incredible.
The beginning of the rugby, just that starts off, everybody's like, hail to the bus driver.
So you were meant to be in Florida, Jen, for Wrestlemania.
Yeah, I was supposed to be back. I would have just got back yesterday. So I know it's sad, but did you guys see WrestleMania?
I enjoyed it way, way more than I expected to. And I sent Cheyne's the non-wrestling fan of the three of us. So or the four of us even. And I sent him a link to the Bray Wyatt John Cena thing earlier. And I was just like, watch this. And because this isn't really like wrestling, so watch it.
But that's the thing, it's so funny, is like we were discussing it and we were like, now when people are always like, oh, if it's a non-wrestling fan, what match do you show them, you know, to kind of like convey wrestling and stuff? Imagine showing that to a non-wrestling fan. They'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Then he sent it to me and I was looking at it and I was like, is this what fucking happens when wrestlers don't have crowds? Like, this is the fuck, like, just give up for a bit, guys. It was like, I don't know, I loved wrestling growing up and I watched WrestleMania last year, had no fucking clue what was happening, but I had an operation, so I had time off. So I stayed up all night watching it then, and I was just that one Danny sent, and I was sitting there watching it going, wait, are they in a wrestling match, or are they doing like a spoken word poem, or is it like the Ghost of Christmas Past, and like John Cena's now a rapper, and what the fuck is happening here?
It was the best thing.
Someone to clap for. There's a doctor to clap.
Thugonomics. But that's the thing. Like, see, when the Mania we were at 33, when Randy Orton and Bray were in that match, and then for some reason they eliminated the ring with worms, was it?
Worms and maggots. And
they tried to give it a supernatural feel, and it just didn't come off at all. It's like, see you.
Did you not think, like, so, like, for that match, right, I think I'm one of the very few people who was quite into that, like, happening, but I was watching it at home, so I can imagine how, like, weird it looked when you were actually there.
Nah, the crowd popped for the first one in a sort of, ooh, what's going on here? This is fucking spooky and different. And then Randy Orton won, and you're going, what was the point of that then?
Yeah. But my thing was, they were trying to clearly give Bray a supernatural element, this kind of same way the Undertaker, but I don't think that was the right way. I don't know what the worm's significance was. But then you look at this, and obviously you're sitting there, you're thinking we're in lockdown, they're at a creative point where they can do whatever they want. And like, they nailed his character so well, and they've obviously given him creative control. And that's the right arena to do it in. Then if you're going to run segments with Bray or the Fiend, give them the creative freedom to do that all the time. Don't just try and force something in. And obviously Bray's character was brilliant back in the day, but they've nailed it now. and they should follow that formula moving forward because it's just fucking amazing. And you suspend your disbelief with wrestling anyway. You have been Undertaker over the years. However many times Undertaker raised a hand through the dirt when he was buried alive, you're just like marking out at that moment. They should allow Bray to continue down this path for as long as he wants, and that's his niche. You know, they need to pre-tape segments.
Did you guys actually think, was that a good thing? Like that thing that
it was awesome.
That was the best
so
thing.
Good.
Best thing in years that they've done.
That and the Boneyard match.
Boneyard match again. Insane. Like I was like looking at it, and then everyone was like, "My God, like this is like just." I was like, "This is like the pure lost episode of Buffy." I was like, "It's so good." It's literally everything I've ever wanted. And then just at the end, the reveal on the tombstone, I was like, "Ah!" Like,
yeah, that was amazing. And you're already looking at the Firefly Boneyard match next year because that was a loss as well at Mania, wasn't it, for Bray?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man. That is beautiful.
The last night, I've not seen AEW last night yet, but I know that Matt Hardy challenged Jericho to an elite deletion match, and you're going, oh, they are going to they need to up the game of this cinematic mental shit, and I can only imagine what they two are going to do together.
No, because I was going to save all the people as well, because obviously they've Matt's got the whole compound at his disposal and stuff like that. He's got a pure good mind for it. Jericho is one of the most creative. To this day, I still think he's the only person who's ever been able to reinvent himself, to be better every single time. That will be something spectacular as well. We're actually, despite all everyone's moaning of how there's no crowds and stuff, we've been spoiled as wrestling fans. I think they've really just pushed the boat out for us, and it's amazing.
Well, that's what I said to Danny at the weekend there. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to look forward to beyond WrestleMania. Obviously, you've got your tape shows and stuff, but that really kept me going the first week there. I was like, no, but WrestleMania's this weekend, and no matter what, I'm there for it. It's going to be, it's going to be what it's going to be. I actually thought the ladder match, and then even though some people said it was too long, I thought the last man standing match was brilliant. It was just amazing storytelling.
The end of that was just phenomenal. If Edge doesn't come out with some sort of I don't know, BAFTA or something for it, it was so good. I mean, not a BAFTA, an Emmy, but it was that. It was just, that was amazing. It did for me go on a bit too long, but the storytelling was there, and it was funny because Kenny from Inside the Ropes, he had called in a wee favour. I don't know if you guys had seen it. He did an exclusive interview with Edge the night before. On the Friday, so the night before night one, on the phone, and Edge was saying then he was oh, the fact that there was no crowd actually made our match better, because it became so much more personal. You become more drawn into it. It's not, you're not taking your focus solely on that. And it was so true. I was if there was a crowd, because there was some things, obviously I was gutted because I was oh, I should have been there, but if WrestleMania had gone ahead, we wouldn't have been treated to the Boneyard match or the Funhouse match. We wouldn't have had that last man standing match. The ladder match wouldn't have been what it was, because it would have been the tags, with the 6-man. So we were actually really spoiled, and I think that they really pulled it out of the bag. Props to everybody at WWE. They put on an amazing weekend. So.
And Danny, you mentioned this, didn't you? You said they're breaking the PG wall a wee bit more, aren't they?
Aye, you've got Kevin Owens called Seth Rollins a prick in one of the package videos. You had the Vince puppet saying "This is such good shit," which is just the fucking best callback.
One of the best ones, so good. Also said there was something else, because they've been bringing bitch in for a while. I think Bailey's been absolutely destroying that word. Any moment she can, she's get it in. But there's definitely, you can see that it's ever so slightly slipping off. Whether when we get back to having audiences and stuff and young kids in attendance, whether that will be different, I don't know, but we'll see.
I actually feel and Cheyne, I know you're sitting here what?
Or Scooby, and they're when are we going to talk about the Scottish guy?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about him. We're segueing in, but Bailey, I thought that match was brilliant. I think that it needed the crowd to hype the tension between her and Sasha. and she doesn't get the plaudits, man, but she delivered that. Like, I don't know, that relationship, and she made it so personal, and she made me feel when she was like, she obviously threw Sasha and to get knocked out, but that there just kind of, to me, resonated. I was like, this is going to be potentially one of the best unraveling of a friendship / feud going forward, and it kind of needed that crowd to make it pop as much as it needed.
Definitely. There was definitely
either of those the Kiwi girls?
No.
No, that's
Dakota Kai, the Kiwi one.
Yeah.
But Cheyne, before I let Jen jump in, it's one of them Snoop Dogg's cousin.
Well, that's exciting. I've got absolutely nothing to say about that, but that is exciting. Is Snoop Dogg in any way involved?
He has done entrance stuff and all that with her before.
Mm-hmm. He snapped us to the ring one year. What was that, 34, 33?
34 must have been then.
34?
2, I reckon.
But yeah, it was really good.
I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the right. Well, let's run through the Scottish ones. First, Nikki, that first night, she's built for an empty arena. She's just so good.
What does that mean? That's such a weird, like, is that not a backhanded compliment? Like, oh yeah, don't put her in front of people.
She was just great. Great. The vocally as well, you know, she just brought it.
Did you
One
see
of my favourite things about Nikki is, like, even like in all the kind of like the kind of the house shows, like the kind of you know what I mean, like the show tapings on the way up to it, she was like, you're banging the mat, like trying to get the crowd going, and I'm like, yes, like, do you know what I mean? It's just it's wee things like that, like wee Easter eggs that you see. Like, she's just so perfect, like, because she's just so much energy that you get so invested in it. Like, she's amazing. She did amazing.
Her accent is holding up so solidly as well. Like, they almost play up to how non-understandable her Scottish accent is, because she plays this kind of crazy character. So they just let her go full Scottish, just so they can then go, what? Like, what did you just make? What was that noise you just made there?
Did you hear her on commentary? Like, she's amazing. Like, so good. Like, honestly, she's definitely. I think when she got kind of called up, like, not so much to, like, when Sanity and all that debuted, there was a worry that she could be lost almost, even though she was the only girl in Sanity. There was a worry that she could kind of be lost in that faction, and, you know, it's a shame, because when Sanity got like debuted, I for one was like losing my mind. So I love Eric Young, and I was like, this is what an amazing faction this is going to be. But then it just kind of went nowhere, true to kind of like WWE kind of like bad booking, like, things where you know, they could have been such a powerhouse, but they just weren't utilised. So there was a worry that, you know, she could have get lost in the shuffle, the same with like Killian Dane and stuff like that as well. But the fact that they paired her with Alexa Bliss, I just think it's just totally, they are just so entertaining, the two of them together. Like, I love it.
They seem like a genuine friendship as well. Like, see, when you see wee backstage clips and stuff, then just any interaction from, you're like, geez. And she gives Alexa a different dimension, because she came in with that whole, what was it? What's that character? I'm forgetting. From Suicide Squad. She's got her own movie now.
Harley Quinn.
The whole Harley Quinn type of thing. But now there's just a real growth in character from Alexa's perspective, and Nikki will help that. But that in itself, see, if you would have said to me, even 3-4 years ago, that opening Mania, there's going to be a Scottish wrestler that ends up winning a title, any title, I've just been like, that's huge, that's massive. But then on the night one, you're like, we've got one, we've already got 3 in the UK. How can we, right, everyone's expectations then goes to Sunday. They're like, this is happening. Because it was like, without a shadow of a doubt, everything, the narrative was all built towards Drew winning, and it was going to be a huge moment. That WWE storytelling at its zenith, when, I'm not comparing Drew to Stone Cold, but I'm saying when you knew Stone Cold was going to win the title back at Mania, you knew that it was all building towards that. Everything indicated that was Drew's story.
Yeah, totally.
On Sunday, man, that was huge. How was it for you? Because you've worked with the guy.
Yeah, no, like, so I know Drew, and it's like, It's so funny because like last time I saw Drew was, now when was it? It was the end of last year. I think it was when WWE did a house show. Like, you know, they do like the live tours. So just a house show. I think it was originally supposed to be a SmackDown, but they changed it and it was just a WWE live show. Yeah. Drew came a day early, so a few of us all got to hang out and stuff the night before. And it was just funny, like, just chatting away to him. And, like, even then, you were just like, wow, like, I hadn't seen him for, like, a good couple of months beforehand. And I was just like, you know, he's always been, like, a pure, like, there's always been something about Drew. Like, I don't know whether it's the fact that he is, like, 6'1,000,000 feet tall, like, do you know what I mean? And he is built like an absolute bear. But you notice him, he's got, like, this kind of X Factor thing where you're just drawn to him. And he looked, I didn't even think it was possible, he looked even more like a superstar when I saw him. And we were chatting away, and it was just, like, shooting the breeze. Like, he's still Drew. He's still, like, humble and you know, friend. Like, he's just, you know what I mean, he's not lost in some sort of like, oh, I've gone to America and I'm too good for this. He came back a day early so he could see people, like, you know, see his pals and stuff. And he was just so, like, we were talking about, like, the Rumble at the time, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, you've got to let me know. And he was just like, oh, I don't even know what's going on. And then obviously we are sitting watching the Rumble, that happens, and we're like, what? And I'm like, how was I literally just sitting with this guy a couple of months ago? Now he's won the Rumble. And then it was like, wait a minute, he's going to Wrestlemania. What? Like, it's just madness. It's like a shame, obviously, because I would have loved to, because he is such a nice guy, I would have loved to have seen him have that moment with the crowd. But the way I was saying about it from kind of day dot was, or when we found out that obviously this was like going to get a no audience thing, was that he is now going to be on the most memorable WrestleMania of all time as the new champion. Like, it's a shame that he didn't get that kind of like buzz. But he even said it himself in the, like, did you guys watch the 24 documentary they did? Yeah,
it was very good.
It was amazing. And you see him, like, just how horrible and stressful that must have been for him, that, like, 24 hours, or, like, you know, that time scale over a couple of days. But
well, he was in Scotland, wasn't he? This was probably the moment where he was like, right, I'm going to bring all the emotional content. I'd imagine there was plenty lined up with the guys at ICW as well, and then to be told, like, what, 4 or 6 in the morning or something, you need to go right now. Trump's bringing everyone back.
He was like, literally, he had, like, so as far as I'm aware, because I had a friend that was actually in that video package, like, you know, the bit where he's doing, like, the tug of war thing, like, in that. So a friend of mine was one of the guys on the other side of it. And he, like, had messaged me, and, like, he doesn't watch wrestling, but obviously knows that I'm into it. And he was like, oh, we've got, like, that big Scottish guy, we're doing this. And I was like, oh, I don't think so. And I was like, because I think he's gone home, because there was a whole, there was something planned for him when he was up here. And I was like, look, he's gone home. And he was like, no, because the shoot's still going ahead. It's going ahead. And I was like, I don't think he'll be there. And then true enough, they were like, no, he went up and filmed his stuff, like, within a kind of 5-hour gap or something. Like, took him up to the Lomond when it was howling with rain and stuff like that, and, like, filmed his stuff, and then literally just got him on a plane, and that was it. He was bundled away, and then they went and filmed the rest of it with, like, a body double like, for some of it. So it was nuts. Like, it was a shame, because I think a lot of people, like, here wanted to see him, and obviously, you know, his family and stuff, like, we kind of forget, like, you know, just his pals, like, we all want to see him, but, like, his family, like, his dad, he's so close to his dad, when he was back at ICW, his dad would always be at every show. His dad's lovely, and he's Drew, like, he's just an old Drew. It's so strange when you see them, but together. But he, you know, he's obviously missed out on that time with his family, which he should have been, like, probably, you know, when he's, you know, like, they would want to celebrate that with him. So it was a shame, but he did get his championship win, is going to be the most remembered, or one of, anyway, the most remembered championship wins in all of wrestling history. So it's a.
So what does what does that mean for him? So, like, as a non-wrestling fan, are you guys like proper buzzing because he's Scottish and he's the top? What does that actually mean for him, though? Does that mean he's never getting cut ever again, or is that a big payday, or what is it? What does it mean to win that world title?
He is the best wrestler in the world. Like, that's what it means. Like, that's what that championship should mean. It hasn't been like that a while with, obviously, Lesnar's reign and stuff like that, and, you know, being a part-timer and stuff. And I think that's really where, like, a lot of people have had issues with, like, Lesnar holding titles because he is part-time. But then when you actually get somebody like Drew, I think it's like a big glimmer of hope that people are now seeing it as, like, do you know what, that title stands for that again, where it is legitimately you are the best wrestler in the world, like, which is what it should mean.
Well, it kind of felt like this was not to discount what Lesnar's done, because he's been huge but divisive over the past few years. But it kind of felt like that was it. That was going to be the moment where the titles were brought back. You got Goldberg, you know, he was going to be annihilated by Reigns. That was going to be a symbolic moment. You got the two guys that faced each other at Mania last year basically winning the big titles this year, if that was it. And then it was going to be, they're going to carry forward the brands. And then you got this whole thing with Rollins and Owens bubbling up underneath, and there was going to be like a strong, like mid-card, upper mid-card, and there's going to be Aleister Black's doing his thing as well. I think Big E should be somewhere up the top at some point as well, you know, eventually. But it felt like let's progress WWE into the next era with these guys that have been around for a while. You know, I mean, Drew 11 years, Roman now about what, 7-8 years maybe. But it kind of felt like that was it. Like the part-timers, Goldberg's not going to win another one. Maybe Lesnar will be an attraction, but you don't need to give him a title anymore. He probably doesn't want one. And well, it still could signify that with Braun as well, but it just kind of feels like
you poor naive fool. You poor naive.
Don't rain on our parade,
that first trip back to Saudi Arabia, it all goes back on the old guys.
No, I don't think
they won't be travelling to Saudi Arabia
That's
anymore.
what I mean. So enjoy it for the next few months, but as soon as they're over
there's
there
no
again,
way they're going to Saudi Arabia anymore. This is going to be an American TV show for a long time after this pandemic.
No, I'm sure they've got like a deal still with Saudi. I just don't think that they'll be dishing out the big guns after the drama that was the last, like, at Post's last show. So I don't know if they'll be, don't get me wrong, I definitely think Goldberg should be buying some sort of holiday apartment over in the Saudi, because he'll be getting dished out for all those ones. But I think that's maybe the last of Goldberg's kind of like, and maybe, I don't know, Taker, maybe to put other guys over. What has happened with this AJ thing, I don't know. I thought like that would be the end of it, but with the hand coming out, I was a bit like, oh, is this maybe something? I don't know, because like Undertaker had asked for that match as well, apparently. Like, you know, I don't know.
Kurt Angle, wasn't it? Kurt Angle said you have to have the AJ match.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kurt Angle said it, and then like Taker was like, yeah, that's who I want, and was like kind of no question about it. Because I was like obviously surprised like that the OC were involved in that, because they've obviously very, like, it's no secret they've not re-signed. So I was kind of surprised that they would bring them on board with that big match. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, like with AJ's shenanigans and things, but I was kind of like, well, I don't know. Like, I didn't think the WWE would be wanting to celebrate them in any way, sense of the word. I don't know.
What was the drama with Saudi Arabia last time? You've just intrigued me by that.
Well, Shane.
I got a bunch of looks from like, everyone going, we don't talk about that. And I'm like, why?
Saudi Arabia is basically the equivalent of rewinding WWE 20 years every single quarter now, or every
like
6
twice
months.
a year,
Yeah, so instead of growing storylines for the new stars, it's like, hey, here's somebody we built up for, you know, the past 6 months, but bring this guy back from 2002, gives him a finisher or 7, and then takes the title. So it's kind of, it doesn't allow growth.
It was more like the actual after shenanigans where they all got stuck there.
Oh yeah, all that drama, yeah. Lesnar had his own plane, is that true?
Yeah, well, they had a plane that got like the main folk out who had to do like TV taping. So I knew one of the camera guys that was over there, and because he had to tape, he was going over to tape. Well, it must have been SmackDown, I think, because was it a Thursday? It was a Thursday it was on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the people they needed for like SmackDown and like the kind of bigger stars who like had their own kind of travel, they all got out. But like the majority of like you know, crew and a lot of the wrestlers were all kidnapped almost in a sense. Like they wouldn't let them leave. So drama.
Coronavirus, or was it because of something else?
It was a money thing apparently. So
They were actually kidnapped.
Well, they said they couldn't leave. They wouldn't let them travel out until something was. I don't know the end of it, so it would be unfair of me to comment properly on it because I don't know. Because my tinfoil hat comes out.
Nothing was formally announced, Shane. There was some cryptic tweets from people that suggested that they'd got on a plane and told to get off it again, and it took a day or two to sort out. But they made it out, and it was about, I don't know, when was that? About 6 months ago?
That was in October.
Yeah.
October.
Am I wrong? Was that the Balor AJ match because of that?
No, they died. All the NXT people done SmackDown.
I
think Adam Cole wrestled Daniel Bryan.
That was it. Balor AJ was because of something else, wasn't it? Remember? Was that a year ago now?
That was when. Oh fuck! What happened? Did they not all get another disease? But it was just like an everyday illness, and it was fuck. What was that? Was it Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, it was something anyway. But there was people sick, and then Balor and AJ had that match.
That's right. Yeah. That was the one where Kurt Angle ended up in the Shield.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Sometimes when the worst things happen, like from a health perspective, the best things can happen in the industry. Shane, I
was going to say Kurt being in the Shield was a proper shock, especially to me. I did not see that coming.
It was so sweet. He just looked like their dad, and it was so cute.
I know. Thanks for just including me, fans. So cute.
I've been watching a lot of early. Before Mania, you get in like a state of watching old Manias, and you forget how good Kurt Angle was, because in amongst this attitude era, he's just got a straight-laced attitude, and what he said, like he speaks very well, and they're like, "This is fucking amazing," and he's just straight down the line, massive heel, but.
Totally, like that's when I watched like the Attitude Era. Like, that was when, as a kid, like I got kind of tuned into it and first fell in love with wrestling. And I remember so clearly how much I hated Kurt Angle. Like I just couldn't stand him. I was like, oh my God, he's so infuriating. He's so like, he was just such a good guy, and just the Olympics and the milk and all this. And I was like, oh, he just totally did my nut in, which is ironic because like. I tend to like love people like that now, but it's like, oh, he did my nut in, and I would literally, the blood would boil in me as a kid, like watching him, and going back and watching some of the absolute gold he was just spinning from being that character. I was like, how did I not appreciate that he's a comedy genius? Like, he's so good.
Down you go.
I was just going to say, he was like the gap in the market. He was like, right, I'm going to be this guy. I'm going to be this guy so well. And like, you wouldn't have, what was it? The faction that you loved, Danny.
Oh, right. I'd love to hate, right to censor.
Yeah, he could have led that faction all day long, but he just did it himself.
Yeah, I miss that. As kind of Jen, you just touched on it there. I miss that kind of childlike. I don't know, use like a wank insider term, being worked. Because I was saying this to James about William Regal. I pure hated William Regal because he was this pure pompous English guy. And you're like, that's the point. So I miss that childlike falling for it aspect of it.
And you know, the thing is like, I was trying to work this out. Like, I mean, a while ago, I was speaking to folk and I was like trying to work it out who was the last people that actually did kind of get me like that. And I think when I first started getting back into wrestling, maybe about kind of 2011, 12, it was The Miz for me. because I just hated him. Like, I actually hated him, and I was like, I can't stand this guy. He's so arrogant and pompous. And now I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you were just the best heel ever. Like, he's just so good. And then now, like, the last person I literally had, like, that venom, like, I can't stand you, was Baron Corbin. And I was like, you know, and for me, like, I now like to think, I wouldn't say I was a smark at all, right? I am a mark, pure out. Like, I just love to be entertained and stuff, and I don't think I know any better than anything, but I like to think I'm a wee bit clued up when they're trying to work us. Fell for that one. He was so good.
What's a smark?
A smart mark.
And what's a mark?
A mark's like a fan.
A smark's like someone that just fucking delves too deep, mate.
Yeah, they second guess everything and almost take the fun out of it, or try to take the fun out of it.
A smart basically thinks that they know everything about wrestling, and like they will try and dissect it, and you know, just to the point where you're like, you're not even finding this entertaining, so why are you bothering? Like, whereas a mark, I like to think, is just somebody that's just into it. Like, and I don't think I know it gets thrown about as a derogatory term, but I don't think it's derogatory at all. I think it's a nice way to be.
So Cheyne, how are you doing?
I know. I watching the weekend. I'm so sorry.
My brain was like I was trying to keep up, and the whole time I was going, I know none of these things. I'm just gonna do this.
What have you been watching?
I've been watching King of the Road, which has encouraged me to
King
go
of the
buy a
Ring.
skateboard.
Sorry.
and then, like, because I've got nothing to spend money on, I've gone mental and just started doing, like, recreating my childhood, but now, so buying PlayStations, buying skateboards, like PlayStation 1s, skateboards, I spent 4 hours last night researching which Air Jordans I was going to buy. Like, I don't know. I've honestly, my brain's just lost the plot a wee bit. I'm watching all the Star Wars movies, and like, it's not even, like, it's not fun. I'm about halfway through, and I'm like, all right, should we watch Star Wars? And me and Mel are looking at each other like, yeah, we can do this. Like,
are you on
cracking
Disney
open an
Life?
Eastern egg.
Are you on Disney Life doing that?
No, not yet. It's still on Now TV. We're like not doing it until they've got us by the balls. I think, like, Disney don't do a lot of things bad, but I don't think they did a great job of getting everyone by the balls. Like, because they're Disney. If they could have organised it so they went, by the way, our shit is off everything apart from Disney Live. So many more people would have been like, fuck, let's get Disney Live. Whereas at the moment, it's almost like a soft wee launch. You know what I mean? They've kind of like, Netflix has still got heaps of shit, and Amazon Prime's still got heaps of shit, and Now TV. And so I'm like, I'm paying for these other fucking things. I'm not going to start paying for Disney until, like, I want to watch a Disney film, and that's the only choice.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, mate. You need to get someone that's paying for it, that you can just jump in.
When I say I'm paying for all these things, like, we don't pay for our Netflix. I don't know who the fuck pays for that, but like, I'm logged in as someone called Rumor, so I'm like, God knows.
That's me. I started watching the X-Men cartoon earlier because I remember it being so amazing when I was younger. I was just like, yep. I'm like 25 minutes in, I'm going, I know this is going somewhere good. That's how dark I am.
I got that whole, it's like one of these IPTV on-demand streaming things, and I tried watching Pokemon again recently, and I got like, I get 2 or 3 episodes in, and I was like, I think I'm enjoying this, but I just feel a bit odd, and so I tried watching Pokemon. I'm going to try watching Kenan and Kel again soon, because I've got that lined up, and I'm scared because I think it's going to be shit.
Don't, mate. You've put the screw in the tuner. The Pokemon.
Wait, did you just say you've put the screw in the tuner? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a reference to Kenan and Kel.
Right.
YouTuber. One of the best things about Pokemon when you're watching when you were younger was the guessing game at the adverts.
Yeah,
like, what
who's that Pokemon?
Do you still get that watching it back?
Aye, so that's what they do. so an episode of Pokemon, they'll set it up with what the featured Pokemon is going to be, and then when it does, who's that Pokemon? That's well, let's sort of say, for example, it might be a wee Diglett, and you go, oh, that's Diglett. Guess who's going to pop up in a couple of minutes? It's only fucking Diglett.
Did they give you a
They knew
2-minute
what they were
break?
doing.
They don't, not in the thing that I'm on, but it's when they're setting up for adverts when it should have been on telly. They don't.
Right.
The version I'm watching, they cut out the adverts because they're polite like that.
But do you give yourself 2 minutes to get your head around what it is?
Not when it's a Diglett. Everyone knows a Diglett.
Now
Yeah,
that you've
true.
figured out the formula as well, you've hacked it. You're like, you can say before the ad starts, you're like, before they even do the thing, you're like, it's fucking Jigglypuff, fucking Jigglypuff, and it is, and you're like, fucking told you, it's fucking Jigglypuff. You're a Smark. You're a Pokemon Smark.
You know the lingo now, Cheyne. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I know. I was so proud of myself just then. I was like, you see the wrestling thing. Here's the thing that I didn't even knew. Was the poker rap the same every time, or did they have like 5 on rotate?
I only watched 2 or 3 episodes, but I remembered all the songs at the end, not word for word, I should say, but I recognised them when they played at the end, and I think it is just the same, maybe 2 or 3. And they're just kind of annoying. They're not. In fact, the theme tune is good. Everyone could sing along with the theme tune, but the songs at the end.
Be the
very best.
Yeah. No one ever was.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, right, so funny that we're talking about classic theme tunes of like kids' TV. I posted one the other day, or like a Halloween costume that I was the other day, and how I think it was the best Halloween costume I've ever. Well, me personally, but I think in the world it's one of the best. And it was Cyril Sneer from the Raccoons. Now there is a TV theme tune. Do you remember that?
I remember the Raccoons. I remember the cartoon, but I can't say I remember the theme tune.
You're
Nah,
joking.
you're going to have to sing it.
I mean, I'm not going to, because it's like proper 80s power ballad glory. It's so good. Like, I would never do it justice. But that's your homework after this. Go on YouTube and listen to the Raccoons theme tune called Run With Us. The best theme tune ever.
They all
so
had
good.
very suspicious looking noses in the Raccoons. I remember that.
They did.
I'm really intrigued, but we didn't get the Raccoons in New Zealand. I'm really like, oh.
It was Canadian, is that right? I want to say Canadian.
Don't know. Somewhere one of the streaming services just put Round the Twist up in full, and I know that's an Aussie thing, Shane, but that's another.
I was gonna say I have no fucking clue what that is.
That's another very memorable kids theme tune. Have strange things happen. Are you going now, have you heard the word about the bird and the spider?
Madness.
I don't remember that one either, Shane.
Did you guys get Rocket Power?
Yeah.
Rocket Power's the bit. Oh, are you talking shit? Oh, you didn't get it. Rocket Power was a bunch of there was a bunch of skateboarders, BMXers, and they were cartoons, and they were fucking cool, man. If they put that on, I'm literally giving up everything and just going, this is what I do now. I'm binge watching Rocket Power. It wasn't even that good, but there was a guy called Squid who they were all a wee bit mean to. You wouldn't get away with that now. But it was just they're all extreme sports cartoon kids. It was fucking cool, man. Especially because I'm I don't know. I don't think it was as big here, but I was mad into skateboarding and shit. So having a TV show that had skateboarding on it as a cartoon, you're like, what the fuck? That's us, only not cartoonish.
We all now have a lot of time in our hands, and we're desperately seeking content for this podcast whilst we do this. So maybe we could do that as a challenge. I'll watch Rocket Power, Shane. I'll find it on YouTube, and the next time we all meet up, I'll tell you my thoughts on Rocket Power.
And am I looking for actual raccoons or a documentary on raccoons? It's not.
It's called The Raccoon. You'll love it.
It's a documentary, mate. It's definitely a documentary.
it's about David Attenborough going, yeah, lie.
If anything, it was very ahead of its time with the kind of green movement and saving the evergreen forest and
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, he's a hero.
Gonna take pollution down to 0. I fucking love that.
Do any of you remember a film called Fern Gully?
Yes.
That was all about saving the rainforest. That was a fucking deep film, that.
He got shrunk. He got shrunk into a wee tiny person like the fairy.
Yeah, the fairy. But I remember being genuinely terrified of that film when I was little. My dad took us to the cinema to see it, and see the bit where it's like I was going to say a combine harvester, but I don't know what it is, like the chipper or whatever. When the
chopping down the trees.
The big smoke thing turns into the big demon and stuff. That was me, like nightmares for at least 2 weeks. I was like, I can't cope with this anymore. It was terrifying.
The big T-Rex from Land Before Time done that for me. Was it Sharptooth?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Misunderstood, mate. Misunderstood. He was just going on instinct. That's all he was doing. But Littlefoot and Freehorn, however they are, they have to survive. But also, and Petrie, yeah, they had to survive. But the Tyrannosaurus Rex he was kind of doing what he needed to do.
What was the catchphrase, the really nippy one used to say? There was one you wouldn't really care if she'd got eaten.
Was the Triceratops one?
Freehorn.
Did she not used to have like a kind of annoying catchphrase of sorts that she would say? I can't remember.
I thought Petrie was the annoying one.
No, Petrie was a cute one.
This is bad, very bad indeed, or something like that.
I can't remember.
Petrie was she was a thumper of that one. Oh no, that's not it.
He was a bad female role model because she was very annoying in that. But no, it was
primary school.
On you go, Shane.
At primary school, we watched, I don't know when it was from, but it was like The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, like a movie, where they proper rolled out the fucking TV on the stand and shit. But we watched it when I was probably 6, and it gave me nightmares. So, Mum was a teacher and told the teacher that showed me the video we couldn't. So, the whole class then didn't get to watch The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. We had to watch these videos, and I still sit there going, what the fuck? Maybe this was me, or maybe it happened because something bad happened. But we had to watch heaps of episodes of basically your uncle is a rapist, and it's not that, but it's no, it's not. It's basically it was bizarre.
No, what was the theme tune to that one, Shane?
They were singing a song. It was "It's My Body and I'm the Boss of It." And I just remember it being it's like a public service video about how your uncle might probably rape you at some stage. And I just remember being afraid of all my uncles for a year. I was like, nah, get away from me. I don't even know what rape is, but you're going to do that to me, you bad person. But that was because I was scared, and I think I cried during The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
Fucking hell, mate. How did that get there?
James,
I was talking about... You said something about a scary dinosaur, and I was like, oh man, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was scary. Because also, my house had lots of wardrobes. That's scary.
Always comes back to someone in your family in this podcast, mate.
Yeah.
No wonder you know.
But I just wanted to clear that no uncles did dodgy things to me. But that's why I always thought it was my fault. But now that I think about it, I don't know if you'd show... That's not an alternative, that you don't go, well, don't do The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Play them the anti-rape thing. I think that was maybe something sinister was going on. Fuck, now I feel bad.
I still can't see the correlation between the two. Unless you lived in the wardrobe, I don't know.
Was your uncle hid in the wardrobe?
Well, that's in my mind. They probably two scary things joined. They're like, don't go to wardrobes. Also, don't see your uncle. I just remember from then being that was a bizarre thing that just came up when you were talking about scary dinosaurs, and I was like, phew.
We weren't, mate. We're kind of talking about a cartoon dinosaur when we were young.
Jane, have you watched The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe since?
I've watched the new movies. And I'm brave. Sometimes I sit there holding my girlfriend's hand, and she's like, "Come on, breathe. You can do this." And they walk through the coats, and I go, "It's okay now. I know I've done that."
Have you spent time alone with your uncle since?
Dodgy fuckers. No. To be fair, my uncles all sound I was like, yeah. I don't know if people who have dodgy uncles go, that guy's dodgy, but my uncles were all sound.
Yeah, so years ago I did scare attractions, like haunted houses and stuff. Like you get them more in America when you go to like, and like Alton Towers do them at Halloween, and you go in and then it's like people jump out at you and scare you when you walk through. I did one. I used to act and stuff, and I was an actor in one of them years ago down at the Arches, and it was a Christmas themed one, and you would have died, Shane. There was a bit where you like, there was like, because it was the scariest bit, like, because I actually, even though I worked in it, like, I still got really scared every time I went through it because it just freaked me out. But there was a bit where you walked through this nursery, and then there was like all these cribs, and it was like, oh god. And then like obviously somebody jumps out of one of the cribs, and it's this huge big guy in a nappy, and he chases you, and the only way out is the only way out was through a wardrobe door, and you go into Narnia. So you would have died. Like, it's a wee narrow passageway, and there was just shirts and like jackets hanging up, and you had to like push your way past, and then folk would like jump out and like touch your ankles and stuff. Like, it was the scariest thing ever. You would have died, Shane.
I once had a mate that organised like a big maze one. So he had like this haunted kind of maze, and he'd hire like actors in to be scary people. They were makeup artists. It was a really cool thing. But at the time, I took a girl there for a first date. So like, she like met this girl, went, oh, I got this idea for the weekend. She's like, cool. I just then drive her to the middle of the fucking country. She must have been like, what the fuck? And we do this thing, but because I know the guy that's running it, he's the guy with the chainsaw, but the chainsaw doesn't have the blade. It's just makes the noises. And it's nighttime, it's dark, you don't have fuck all lights, but there's no blade on it. And I went there twice. The first one was on a first date, and the guy saw me and gave me a nod, and then went hell for leather over this girl, like chasing her, and she was like, like ran full ball into a branch of a tree and was like bleeding and shit. And like had to, like, it was like proper ruined moment, because like he was having fun, I thought it would be funny. She's like gapped it, tree, sconed herself. Like she had to get taken out, and I had to do the rest of it by myself, because I was like, I didn't want to be a dick. I wasn't like, oh no, maybe that was me.
I paid my money. I'm doing this.
I think I got it for free, to be fair. And another one, I had a mate that punched a dude, like, and the rules are, and he was a bit of a fuckhead, but he genuinely just freaked out and just punched someone. So like, someone jumped out at him, and he didn't mean to like fucking batter this dude, but just reflexes came, and he just punched him in the face. And it was like,
oh my god, that's so
like,
bad.
He was this big tough guy, and he felt so bad, but he was so scared before that. That was the funny thing. So normally, like, he wouldn't have done anything like that, but like, he was so scared and so on edge that someone jumped out and went, bah, and he just went.
Do you know the amount of times that happened to folk as well? And like, I was lucky, like my part in it was like, there was like wee bits where you kind of stopped, and it was like a kind of like scene setter actory thing, and I played Mrs. Claus, like Claus.
Yeah.
And it was like, basically what I did was I just noised folk up, because I'm not scary. I don't know if it's like ever like any, but I'm not a scary person. But my whole thing was, I basically just went out and creeped people out. So we'd get really close to them, and I'd like sniff them and stuff. And I would always go, when it was like couples, I would kind of go for like the boyfriend, and be like, you're, like saying all this stuff. And there was one girl that was like proper raging at me, and she was like, bitch, you better back the F up, like everything. And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, oh my god. And then at the time I worked in H&M, and it was like maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks later afterwards, couple came to like H&M, and I was at the till, and they were there, and like I didn't serve them, but I was there, and she was like, that's that bitch from the thing. And I was like, I was acting. I was like, I'm so sorry. And she was like, just don't fucking look at me, don't look at her. And I was like, oh my god.
Were you in the makeup and shit, or were you just
yeah, I was in like ghoul makeup, so it was all like white and stuff, but then it was like all makeup like down, and I was in like a kind of Mrs. Claus, like one of the like the pure Ann Summers Mrs. Claus outfits, like one of those ones. mean, it wasn't my finest moment, but it was like it was a super entertaining for a while, but honestly, it was so funny. Honestly, the girl, I just remember that being in H&M, and I was like, I felt so bad, and she was like, just don't, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I clearly am not like that. I'm working here as a Christmas temp. Like, so.
I cannot picture you as any kind of evil Christmas character. It's just to be like, you'll get not as many roast potatoes as you like this Christmas. No, I'm only kidding, you will. I'm sorry.
I mean, I honestly don't know how I ended up managing to get that job, but I think it was literally because I ended up like being really pally with the guy who was like doing it because I really love like horror stuff, so I was just like chatting away to him, and he does all his name's Michael Bolton, would you believe it? But he does all the ones, I know, for like Alton Towers and stuff, and that's what his job title is. He's a scare consultant, and I just thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever heard in my life.
That's an amazing job.
Ironically, that is also what Michael Bolton, the singer, is described as by a lot of people as well.
It's quite funny though, because you've got like a delightful laugh, and I can just imagine you like running over, like creeping people out, and then going, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, honestly, I was probably the worst bit in the whole thing. Like, everybody was like, right, that wasn't scary at all. But then they went through to Narnia, and that was games of bogey. It was brutal.
I done one of these things. Wouldn't have been last Halloween, the year before. I can't remember where it was, down in Ayrshire somewhere. One of these like big estate houses convert into.
Is it Kilburn?
That's it, Kilburn. And they done like it was like a circus, abandoned circus, folk done up as clowns kind of thing. And I took my nephew, who would have been 13 at the time, and there was a guy in like the Pennywise get up, and all he did was just like stare and walk with Callum, and he just stared and walked and then laughed at him every now and then. And it was quite funny because Callum was obviously like 13, 14, trying to put the brave face on and stuff. And it got to a bit where he just went, "I'm just a child." So he knew it was fake, and he was trying to like, think of the cool but still going to fuck off thing. And the way it just came out, he just went, "No, but I'm just a child."
That's exactly what Shane's been saying to his uncles for about 20 years.
As I get pushed into a cupboard, a wardrobe, maybe that's it.
Oh dear gosh.
Oh,
I think we managed to get onto that subject. Who knows?
Right, I've tried to come up with like games and content for this because we needed it. So usually we would do the Urban Dictionary quiz, but it's done. Like, Urban Dictionary quiz has had its day, and I just can't play it with Jen. Like, you're far too nice to play the Urban Dictionary quiz. So I thought to give it a kind of Jen Louise slant, I came up with a game called Kindness or Danny. And what I've done is I've written down, I think 6, maybe 7 expressions, and they're all kind, but you need to guess whether they're like actual motivational kind quotes from the internet or whether I've just written them down and made them up.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
Right, I'm into
The other two don't look too enthused. Are you both wanting to play?
No, I was going to suggest, since I took a large proportion of the wrestling chat, Shane's I'm more than happy to give Shane this versus Jen.
Right,
you know
okay.
what? Shane is the, like, you know, I get called the advocate of optimism, but he is the professor of
happiness.
Uncle Rape.
I just like your face when you're like the professor of. Oh fuck! I didn't think this far ahead.
I was like, in my head, I was going pessimism, and I was like, but that's bad. And I was like, you're not. There's hope for you.
Shall we Professor Glasses, mate? They look nice.
I look like my beard's getting like quite long now. I'm fucking loving it, because I can just do stuff like this now. Like,
I must say, I think you all actually genuinely look great, considering it's week 3 of quarantine. I think you all look great.
the joy of being a guy is that the less you do to your face, the more manly and rugged it looks. Like ladies, like Danny, you look lovely. We were just saying before about how he'll want to bang James and his like delightful, cool young teenage Mexican like facial hair.
Fucked it.
Like,
you were doing well, but you fucked it.
But it's just doing fuck all makes guys handsomer, which is quite
right. Anyways, Danny, your game.
Right. Okay. So I'll read out an expression, and you can take it in turns to say whether you think it's a real motivational quote or whether I just made it up. And I did literally just take a pen and start writing for the ones that are mine. Right. So the first one is, I see Jesus in every human being. I say to myself, this is hungry Jesus. I must feed him.
That's real.
Yeah, is that not Kanye West or something?
Uh,
I can't say it's real. I'm going to say it's fake, because
I'm saying
otherwise it makes no sense. But yeah.
It is real. It's a real expression. For a bonus point, does anyone want to guess who said it?
Jesus.
No, Jesus wasn't that much of a narcissist.
I'm going to say it was Oprah.
Okay, Cheyne.
Is it Kanye?
No.
Can I jump in the bonus points then?
Yes, of course you can.
I want to go Al Green. Or the Reverend Al Sharp.
It's a very religious person who said this very religious thing.
Al Sharp, he's Al Sharp.
No.
I want a very religious person. The Pope!
Female Pope, kind of, a wee bit. Dead now, but...
Oh, Don French, Vicar of Dibley.
She died, but she was...
Mother Teresa.
Yeah, Mother Teresa.
She died the day after Diana died. Fun fact.
Was she in the...
Actually, I thought she died fucking when I was about 2.
Nah, she died after Diana, like the day after.
When Diana died.
But she still had time to say that lovely quote. Right, okay. Second one is right.
Wait, best... is that who gets the point?
Jen got the point there. Jen got the point. Yep. Right. So a child's laugh can inspire an end to war. A simple compliment can prevent the battle from starting.
I like it, but I don't think it's a quote. I think that's you, Danny.
I reckon that's you, Danny. You started nodding. I was like,
yeah.
I was acknowledging. I was just an acknowledgement of the answer, nothing else.
I reckon that's real. That seems like someone that wanted to be John Lennon but just didn't have the skills to be John Lennon, but they were still like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to put in a solid effort at sounding wise and profound here.
James, play the game. James.
I agree with Shane. It was a guy that killed John Lennon. Was like John Wayne Gracie or something?
No, he didn't kill John Lennon.
Who's it?
John Wayne Gacy killed many more people than Mark Chapman did.
Yeah, he was the mad killer. Right?
He was a clown.
You can buy his art on murderbelia.com.
He was the clown one, wasn't he, John Wayne Gacy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
it wasn't him then. I'll do the bonus one if you want to tell us who's won it.
It was actually me that wrote that.
That's so good!
You're a serial
killer.
Killer.
Someone that's not quite as good as John Lennon, but put in a good effort. Well done.
Right, go for the next one.
Right, next one is positivity is like thirst in the desert. It must be quenched. The desert is beautiful and positivity is the sand of hope.
No, that's fake.
You made that up.
I did make that up.
Yeah.
It's too elaborate. Like, who's quoting this? Like, this is like a full,
I see when I wrote that.
Bible.
That was the one that when I was writing that, I was like, yep, I can see this on a poster in a plastic frame with like a fucking shit sunrise. And
I'll put it on like some sort of Instagram.
So this is all new territory for me, being positive, and it's.
There's a T-shirt for you, Danny. There's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Can you read it out one more time? Because I don't. Does it make sense?
Hopefully not. So I'll read it one more time. Positivity is like thirst in the desert. It must be quenched. The desert is beautiful, and positivity is the sand of hope.
Fucking hell. See, if you didn't say it must be quenched, I would have believed it.
That was it through me, because it makes it sound like, because it's like positivity is like not like being thirsty in the desert, because that's the worst possible thing in the world. So like, why? Positivity
must be quenched.
Positivity must be solved.
Well, the chances are you're not going to quench it while you're in the desert, so you're fucked.
Jen makes a great point, mate. That's not a positive moment when you're
Right.
really thirsty in the desert.
Fine, okay.
It sounds great, so
It sounded profound.
But
yeah.
to be fair, that kind of would make it suitable for a quote on a poster, because these are a lot of shite anyway. So get it up there.
Yeah, you basically need to put it on like in front of a picture of Marilyn Monroe, and then every cunt will fucking misquote it for years.
I was going to say, that's like a lot of girls' Tinder bios right there. So thank you, Dan.
I will tweak that and make it work accordingly. Right. What's my next one? They say love is like ice cream. I like ice cream, therefore I like love. And what's more loving than a bowl of ice cream? 2 bowls of ice cream, maybe. I'm not sure. I want ice cream.
That's real.
That's real.
I've heard that. I'm sure.
Right. Do we all want to guess who said it in that case?
I don't know. Do you know, I saw Braun Strowman say something about ice cream the other day, and that's all I think maybe is triggered in my head, but I don't know.
I'm going to say it's a Hollywood actor that's big. And Mike, can you give me a clue?
No.
Jen didn't get a clue, mate.
Is it Braun Strowman?
Was it the guy that started the ice cream wars in Glasgow?
Right, I'll read out one more time and then I'll let you know. So, this profound, kind statement that you 3 think was said by someone was, they say love is like ice cream. I like ice cream, therefore I like love. And what's more loving than a bowl of ice cream? 2 bowls of ice cream, maybe. I'm not sure. I want ice cream.
Donald Trump.
I fucking wrote that, you idiots.
Oh. That's a testament to your writing.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Something a dumb celebrity would say.
Yeah, to be fair, that did sound like a stupid celebrity.
And now I want ice cream. You're a medical worker. You're an influencer.
We can't fucking get it because it's not essential.
This is now going to be the blurb to my eulogy.
My cat's trying to end my podcast.
End you. He's just like clawing you in the eyes, like, I'll get you.
She took my headphone out a wee second ago. Now she's biting a wire. Like, keep going.
That's not even the abusive one, right? I've got one more left, and then we can call it a day. So,
yeah.
Last one. The best.
I mean, is this one worth like 3 points or something? Because Shane's 2 behind.
I think Jen's 2-0 up. You've all got that last one wrong. So Jen is 2-0 up. So we'll make this one worth 5 points.
I'm only in it for the bonus points.
That's fine. The best and most beautiful thing in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart.
That's true.
True. And I'm going to say Vincent Kennedy McMahon said it.
I'm going to say true. And I'm going to say it was, I don't know, Beyonce? I don't know.
Right, Shane.
And that pop song, I'm a survivor, the things must be felt with the heart, yeah.
Pay my bells, but...
Yeah, I'm gonna go a shit musical icon as well. I reckon it was like Britney when she was positive.
Britney's very positive just now. Britney's wanting to like fucking bring down capitalism just now.
No, but you know, there's the time we don't talk about with Britney. It wasn't that time.
Okay. Well, yous were all right in the sense that I didn't make it up. It was a real quote, but it was said by. In fact, I'll see if you can get it. If I was to say, when the person says, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. Nah, it's too obscure. You won't get it. It's Helen Keller.
Oh, no. Oh, mate, I would have got that.
I would have got that.
I also would have got that for 3 points.
I'm kidding. It was actually Braun Strowman that said that.
By the way, like, on a genuine note, at least once every 3 months, I get really perplexed by the fact that Helen Keller learned how to read and speak despite being blind and deaf.
Guys, I gotta interrupt. I love you all, but my phone just said you've got 30 seconds. So spend this time with me wisely. Go, shower me with love.
Bye, Shane. I love you so much. You look great.
More love. Thank you.
Look great.
That.
I hope they bring back your X game cartoon.
Thank you. More love from you two would have been nice, but I appreciate. Thank you, Jean. You lovely as always.
I just want to see you die, mate. I want to see how it dies.
Yeah, I want you to cut off. I want you to fade to black.
Oh.
Does that how it ends? Is that how you end? Like just dying with a facial expression?
No.
Oh, he is. He's gone. He's
gone. That's so bad.
What a face to die on.
I legit thought he was ripping us there, and I was like, look at him just standing still. But I think that's him. Oh no.
He looks like one of the in King of the Swingers in the Jungle Book. He looks like one of the backing singers of the orangutans. And it's going, "Awoo-be-doo, I want to be like you," and it's just frozen when he's went, "You."
I've taken many screenshots of that, but without shame, we should really wrap up.
Yes.
That was a good moment. It's now 3 of us.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, and then there was me. Does this mean I'm taking Shane's job now? Amazing.
Yes.
I mean, we would happily make that happen.
Yeah. It's the greatest face turn in podcast history.
But listen, man, this has been great, guys. I feel like my cats have abused me in ways that you don't even understand this whole episode.
When them like just walking about, I was like, "Oh, James is gonna get battered."
They're never even in this room ever.
It's frightening that the young one is taking a shine to attacking you as much as the other one so quickly.
She doesn't bite, but she bites my toes.
Oh, that's just love. That's just her way of showing love.
But thank you guys for because it's mental. Like can't leave the podcast without saying we're like week 3 into isolation, and it's just been fucking mental. Like each day just drags on, but this has been a nice distraction, and I hope anyone listening has the same feelings, thoughts, and all that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Me too.
Thank you so much for having me on again, and as your first guest on it, it's really, really a huge honour for me, and I love just catching up with you all because you're so fun. So thank you very much you've made my Thursday really good. So thank you.
Jen doesn't realise we're just going to phone her every day for this now.
Absolutely, please do. I mean, I have no excuse to call. Just as long as you don't sneak up on me in house party, we're fine.
No guarantees, right, guys? I'll catch you later. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers, Jen. Speak to you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.